Hello, I'm Chris, this is Gross Models, and welcome to part 2 of me building the 1:144 scale Millennium Falcon from Bandai. Right, I've jumped in a bit further than normal. I've already got the bits ready, cut off the sprues. I haven't sanded or done anything else with them, I've just cut them all off. There's two fairly identical sets, basically one for each mandible. Now they basically, so I haven't actually sanded down any of these, I've just got them off the sprues ready, and there's some very nice little fine details in these little pipes and tubes that will go onto the top. Now basically these are nice double-sided detail pieces that you need to basically, as ever, snap together, and that obviously goes on the other side, only one way round. So and they give you the little insets for the little bays there, so you've got a nice effect, well, 3D effect. It is 3D, so it's not an effect at all, it is, but obviously they need to be individually painted. Now I won't be doing a full screen accurate paint job on these because A, I'm not that worried about it being screen accurate, and B, I don't think I'm actually up to getting it all exactly right anyway. I shouldn't have snapped that together yet either. I'll get that apart again in a moment. So they need to go together, and then they go in the middle of there. These obviously the edge pieces that snap in around, and on the front and on the other side, those two bits, and then some of these actually go in over the top of those and give you again another level of detail and level of eye candy. So all of that needs to be primed and sanded down and then primed. Then I will get, let's say, the interior bits of these painted up separately on both sides. Once I can get that apart, yeah, I'll do that off camera just in case I break anything off of it. Get them painted up and then get it assembled, and once again leave it in the black primer for now because I don't need to do the overall top colour. I can mask over the edges there before I need to do the top layer, or will that be easier to do that without that installed? I'll figure it out on the way. I might do it so I've got it sort of ready to go but not all assembled yet, so I can install these bits afterwards, because I don't want those to be the lighter colour, although maybe the pipes should be. More work to think about and decide what I'm going to do. So at the moment I'm going to get all these sanded down, get the sprue nubs and marks off of them, get them all looking nice, and get them primed. That's definitely the first step, so I'll see you when that's done. Okay, that's everything primed in black. I've got two sets of everything. There are some other bits just out of shot there, which are the tiny, very fine wires and things. But what I'm going to do is try on camera a little bit of brush painting of the smaller detail bits. Now let's just click on the zoom button and find out exactly where I need to be. About there. Right, now this is double-sided because it goes into the main frame obviously, and both sides you can see through the holes on it. So what I'm going to be doing is basically painting these before they go in, so I can fit them in and then mask over them for priming everything. Now I'm not doing this screen accurate, I'm just adding basically some highlights where I think it will look good. So I'm going in with some metallics. This is a gunmetal, which I'm going to keep glancing up and making sure I haven't moved out of shot. I'm not going to film everything obviously because it's not terribly interesting. I wouldn't have thought it's terribly interesting. Basically just putting in some highlights and detail work on these. It will all be given a wash as well afterwards, so not very much of this is actually going to be visible. It's just to give it a little bit of interest when you see it. Again, these have got, I don't know which way round offhand, but other pipes and things that are going to go over the top as well. So the bits in here are really, let's say, not seen. But it should just add a little bit of sort of background. So I'm at the moment just using some gunmetal, just a little bit on a fine brush, and then just going over some of it. I'm not sure whether to do some of the bigger areas as well, but so weathering's going to cover a lot of this. So still on camera, yep, and probably you can just about see what I'm doing. Do a couple of larger patches. I don't know which bit of this is going to be top and bottom offhand. It's all to do with the cutouts and things like that, but it doesn't really matter to me, as I'm just going to be, say, just doing a little bit here and there. It's not all going to be painted, a lot of it's still going to be black. But while I've got the gunmetal out, I'm just going to go and do that for this one, and then switch out to another colour, go and do a bit more. Now the two sides are different, they're not mirrored, they're not exact duplicates of each other. Let's do that bit down there, shall we? So although I'm keeping them separate, I've got another one there which is, I say, slightly different layout, slightly different setup of things. But I'll get some more of that done. The actual walls themselves, I'm going to do much the same. Just put in some little highlights here and there. It is all going to get sprayed with the insignia white as well. So most of this will, again, probably be covered. But a little bit of, it's almost pre-shading really, some of this sort of pre-highlighting. Just adds a little bit more depth to it. Oh, and that's probably off shot. Adds a little bit of highlight here and there. So I'll get some more of that done, and then when I'm ready to assemble it, I'll come back and you can see how it goes. Right, that's the painting done. I've done the same on the other, but not exactly the same. Just sort of random highlights on bits, mostly on the interior bit, which is going to be, say, painted over anyway. But my intention is to get them assembled and then give it a go over with the spray can of insignia white, which over the black gives just about the right effect. But I'm not going to spray directly into the holes. I'll be spraying sort of across, so it will give a sort of tinting rather than a full colouring, and then it's going to be weathered over the top as well. So I'm going to be putting these together. Now we've got these three bits need to go together first, and one of these has got a little key inset piece which has got the matching bit on there, so that only goes in that way round and snaps together, and that bit again, pretty sure that'll only go one way round on the outside there as well, so just make sure that that goes round. Yeah, it's got to be that way round. So that goes together and gives a nice, let's say, depth to the pipe work in there. So that's that done, and that goes into the top level there. Again, it's all keyed in, so there's bits that'll only go in one way round. It should be that way round. That way round. See, only goes in one way round, and obviously it's the way that's the opposite to the way I first try. So that goes in there, and then the bottom half goes over the top, just like that. Now none of this has been glued together, basically it doesn't need it. So we've got a nacelle looking at nacelle. Do you want to talk about getting Star Trek? I just watched Star Trek. One of the mandibles set up. So now these have got to go in the correct order. You've got the two pieces there to go, and you must do the front one first, apparently. And again, they've got little notches and marks to make sure you get them lined up correctly. So that one in there, and then that one next to it. And then we've got the little end piece. On there. And then some of the nice fine paintwork, pipe work rather. There's a couple of little holes in there. Now these bits I may glue in. It depends how well it fits together, to be honest. Actually, they're going in quite tight, so I'm quite happy with leaving them just a friction fit. Yeah, that's quite nice, and lots of detail on there. Again, most of it's going to be painted over and covered up, but oh well. Right, then we've got the other piece, obviously making sure that goes in the right way round as well. There you go, and the final bit, let's get it the right way around for the picture, and the long bit goes down there. There you go. So there we have one side completed. I'll get the other one done off camera and then show you that finished back in a moment. Okay, that's the two of them completed. Both looking good in the mat. I like the contrast of the detail on it, although that's all going to go away once they're painted. But they're not going to be painted yet because I need to build the central dish part of the Falcon. Obviously I've got the cockpit, which was done last time, so I'll be putting these aside for now and then getting on with the main body assembly. But that's for another part. I'm going to call this a night for this part of the video. It's quite a short section, but the main body is going to be quite an involved bit, so I don't want to add a bit of that and then have to separate it up again. So I'm going to call that a day for this part of the video. I hope you've enjoyed watching. I hope it's given you some ideas of different things to do, and I hope it works out okay for me. But as ever, thanks for watching. Obviously like the channel, subscribe, follow, come back soon for the next part, and yeah, I hope you've enjoyed building. Bye bye.